In a quiet corner of a mountain temple, where sunlight filtered through tall pines and the wind sang softly through the leaves, there stood a small tree, or rather, it tried to stand. For many years, it had remained no taller than a monk's knee. Its branches were thin, its leaves sparse. Around it, other trees had grown tall and wide, reaching for the sky with eager limbs. But this tree, this quiet, stubborn tree, remained just as it had always been, small, still, and waiting. The monks tended it carefully. They watered its roots, cleared the moss around it, and shielded it from frost in winter. But still, it did not grow. Some of the younger monks laughed and called it lazy. One suggested transplanting it to richer soil. Another whispered that perhaps it was cursed. But the abbot said nothing. Each morning, he would stop before the tree, bow gently, and sit beside it in silence. A young monk named Sora, curious and impatient, finally asked, "Master, why do you sit with a tree that does not grow?" The abbot smiled and motioned for Sora to sit. "Watch," he said. And so Sora sat. They stayed beside the tree all morning. The breeze stirred the grass. Birdsong echoed from the hills. A butterfly landed on the tree's delicate branch. The tree, though small, stood steady. Its bark was firm. Its leaves caught the light in a way that made them shine like emerald. Its roots spread quietly through the earth unseen but strong. "Master," Sora said at last, "it still hasn't grown." The abbot nodded. "But it has not withered," he said. "It does not envy the taller trees. It stands as it is, and so it is perfect." Years passed. Sora continued to visit the tree every morning. He began to notice how it changed not in height, but in grace, how it held snow in the winter without breaking, how it welcomed bees in the spring, how it offered shade to tiny insects in the summer, and how, each autumn, it let go of its leaves with peace and poise. Sora stopped measuring the tree. He simply sat with it, and in time, he too stopped measuring himself. He simply was, like the tree. And now, dear listener, I ask you, what part of yourself have you called a failure just because it didn't grow like the rest? What if stillness is not stagnation, but quiet strength? What if you are not falling behind, but simply becoming deeply rooted in your own way, in your own time? Not all growth is upward. Some of it is downward into the earth, where no eye can see, but everything begins. So stop comparing your seasons to someone else's spring. Let yourself be the tree that did not grow and still stood perfectly.